foreclosure and eviction is spiritually wrong. People deserve, through their constitutional rights, to have a home. We cannot act like this is just something that's okay. This is not a laughing matter. It can happen to you. After they throw you out your lifetime home. Your lifetime home. It can happen to you tomorrow. This financial crisis is real. Things are going to get worse. The banks are steadily closing. That means something. That have a lot to do with your property and your home. To know that the banks are closing up and collapsing around you.
Last year, 2008, February, my mom passed.
Right.
Prior to that, she had been very sick. I had to quit my job and take care of her. She needed 24-hour care.
And you couldn't afford 24-hour care?
No, I could not.
Did she have health insurance?
Yeah, she had Medicaid, but it wasn't enough. Now, like I said, my mother, she passed last year. They want me out of here unless I got $66,000. They don't want to take nothing else. I'm going to have to move. Where I'm going to go, I don't know. I'm going to have to go stay with some of my friends or family or something. The American dream, this is a fucking nightmare. This is a nightmare.
I think they trying to change the makeup of the city because this was a working class city, middle class, a lot of black-owned property, predominantly black-owned. Now it's a regentrification.
But I tell you what, it's about to come to a head now. I'll give it another 6 or 8 months. This summer, it's going to be really hot. It's going to be some serious problems because people are hungry and homeless, you know, and they're getting to the point where they're fed up. Thank God for I do have some close friends, but if I didn't, you know, I got to ski mask upstairs. You know, I'm not going to be homeless and hungry and my family needing something to eat. There are some people in this world that have more than they need. And so those are the people that I'm going to pay a visit to. And, you know, make them share some of the things that they have.
You know, when this mortgage crisis hit, it really was a crisis primarily just of the subprime. But in Michigan, it was always a crisis of the subprime mortgages combined with an economic depression, because we've really been in a depression. And right now, that's what's happening in the rest of the country, where the mortgage crisis is broadening nationwide to where it's no longer just a subprime crisis. When a home gets foreclosed, what happens in Michigan is the home is sold at a sheriff's sale. The bank basically sells the home to itself at the sheriff's sale. At that point, the homeowner is no longer technically the owner of the house, the legal owner. The bank is, so the person can stay in for 6 months with the right to redeem it. At that point, the bank takes out forced insurance on the home. Right. But what the forced insurance is insurance on the structure of the home.
Right. Okay.
Well, all right. So if the home gets vandalized and destroyed, who collects the money?
Bank.
The bank does. Yeah. So they do that, and they make it seem like it's just that people are like animals taking everything. Yes, yes. But my own belief is there's a lot more to it than that. And it would be good if there was a real investigation of it, because certainly the ones who profit from the stripping of the homes are the banks.
My name?
Yeah.
Mildred Glinton.
And you live in?
Detroit, the troubled city.
I think Detroit is getting headed for the next riot.
Oh, yeah. And I have always felt that the road on which the nation was, it wouldn't be a revolution. It would be an insurrection. Revolutions usually mean you got outside forces that come and help you. But this will be an insurrection because the inside is going to erupt.
I mean, there's no question that racism is a huge factor in this, because the subprime crisis is a crisis of racism. That the subprime mortgages and these adjustable rate and unaffordable mortgages were directed toward people of color and toward poor people. For African Americans, Detroit was the city where you could come and do better than almost anywhere in the city. It was known for it because of the auto industry. The black workers in Detroit were seen as the kind of the militant center for within the UAW. And so what happened in the late 70s, Chrysler was in the forefront of the restructuring of auto. Chrysler went bankrupt, and the restructuring was going to happen because restructuring was a product of the new technology. But what Chrysler did is they saw an opportunity to weaken the power of the black workers within the union, and the UAW gave a nod to it. I know it happened. And so what Chrysler did is within 3 years, they shut all but one assembly plant. They eliminated 35,000 industrial jobs in the city of Detroit, the city. And Chrysler was 70% African American, its workforce, in 1979. This is true. By 1982, it was 30%.
When I first moved here, this was the most beautiful street. I believe they want to make this street a subdivision. That's the reason why they haven't tore these houses out. This place look like Beirut over here. I don't go nowhere, only in the daytime. Why you think I'm out here now raking up my yard? So I do it in the daytime, you know, early in the morning, where I don't have to be bothered with nobody.
So if you had a message now to Obama or anybody, what would you say?
I tell him to come over here and look on Robin Wood. I'll be playing the numbers every day so I can get the hell off this street.
So you should be very concerned about the fact that they're boarding up Mr. King's home and tossed him out today and made him homeless. What's happening in America?
You know, it reminds me of a thing back in the day. One of the newscasters used to say, hey, the last guy out of Detroit, cut the lights out.
I like that.